Hey everyone, it's Rita. Welcome back to my channel. So today we have a very exciting and I feel like very anticipated new release by Selena Gomez. So she just came out with her makeup line called Rare Beauty, which I was immediately drawn into because I'm not going to lie, the packaging is absolutely gorgeous. So I am a big sucker for packaging. So when I saw it, I was like, okay, Selena, you got me. Take all my money. This looks absolutely stunning. So of course I did pick up all of this with my very hard-earned money. Nothing was sent to me, obviously. So this is going to be a 100% honest review. We're going to take a look at all the products that I got. I almost got a full face. I am missing the brow product, the eyeliner, the face mist, and I think some of the tools. I did get the foundation brush. I did not get the brush for concealer nor the blender. Let's of course start with the primer. She does have one primer and it's going to be always an Optimistic illuminating primer. So it's not like an hydrating primer, it's going to be an illuminating one. So that's the only kind of primers that I like, the kind of like hydrating and the illuminating glowy ones. So the bottle, first off, it's super cute. It's kind of like a hard plastic and I like that it's very sleek and just, you know, all white and with the gold here of the brand Rare Beauty. So yeah, I'm not gonna go ahead and apply this all over my face. I'm just gonna use my fingers for this and we'll see how I like it. Okay, so that's what the product looks like, just the tip of my hand and on this with my finger, and it has like a little pump. So I have my mirror right here, so let's go ahead and apply this. It doesn't really, no, it doesn't have a scent at all. So let's go ahead and start blending this into my face. So here is the primer all applied and I really love it. It feels a little bit tacky but not too much, and it's giving me a lot of illumination, a lot of glow, but it's kind of like a subtle glow in a way because it doesn't, I don't think that it feels like, or it looks like I am wearing something, right? It just seems like my face is just overall glowy, and I really like that because it's kind of like a more subtle glow, but it's still very much giving me all that healthy glow. And I really like this is called the Liquid Touch Weightless Foundation. I got mine in the shade 270N. For the foundation application, I did pick up the brush, and this one is just called the Liquid Touch Brush. So I was needing a new foundation brush, so I thought what better, you know, time to pick it up if I already wanted to try this brand and I need a new brush. So anyway, this is, I like that it is kind of like a very faint pink, almost white, but it's still kind of like pink, and it feels very soft to the touch. So let's go ahead and shake again, and let's open up this foundation. And it does have like the big doe, so kind of like a concealer. I know a lot of people kind of like get a little iffy about these applicators, but I mean, that's the way you apply every single concealer. So what's the big deal between a foundation having this doe and a concealer? I mean, it doesn't bother me at all. I'd actually prefer it because that means I'm not getting my hands dirty, like applying the product on the back of my hand or my fingers. So I don't know, I do like this. So let's go ahead. This is a neutral and it does look kind of like very yellowy orangey, so, and it's probably going to be a little too dark. So let me see, I'm gonna go ahead and apply this side, and I'm going to straight up use the brush and see how I like this. Yeah, this is just way too dark. It's just too dark for my skin, and it looks yellow. Okay, this brush is so awesome. It was super easy to blend. Usually whenever I'm blending my foundation with a brush, I of course do like the circular motions. This, I literally barely just touched my face and there it is. It's all applied and beautiful. I really like that. So let me go ahead and put the foundation on the other side of my face so we can finish up with this base. Because you can see, I mean, I'm not just making things in my head. It's like, it looks very yellow compared to my skin. But once it gets blended in, it just looked really, really nice. So again, I'm literally just using my brush here, super easy. And I'll show you how fast this is to blend. I am really impressed with this brush. Foundation is all done, and I do see that it's a tiny bit yellow for my skin. Maybe it is a little bit darker, so I might just go in store and exchange it for a lighter shade in the same kind of like neutral. I say neutral, but I really think that it's a little bit yellow for my complexion, even though this is a neutral, so I cannot imagine how yellow that warm is going to be. Okay, so now let's move on to the concealer. I got it in the same shade, so 270 neutral, just because the girl told me at Sephora that it was still going to be a little bit lighter just because it is like the matching concealer. So I didn't want to go any darker just because I do like to match my skin with the concealer. So I do use that to cover the whiteness from vitiligo. This foundation did a pretty good job to cover, but of course I like to go on with an extra layer of coverage. This one is the Liquid Touch Brightening Concealer, and again this one is in the shade 270N. So it looks pretty light. Like, let me just show you compared to the foundation, it looks very much like 1 or 2 shades lighter than the concealer. So here is the foundation and here is the concealer, so you can tell big difference even though they are the exact same shade, both in 270N. So let's go ahead and apply this. Again, I use concealer. If you're new to my channel, I use concealer to cover the discoloration I do have on my face from vitiligo. So this tofu is pretty weird. I've never seen anything like this. So it kind of like has a bit of a triangle, like, I'm sorry, like a rectangle, which is, I don't know, it's just very, very odd. So let's go ahead and apply it. Like I said, the foundation did do a pretty good job covering the whiteness, but I always like to add some more concealer, and this color looks pretty good. Like, it does look lighter, so maybe that'll help to kind of like make me feel better about this this color match that I got. So let's just apply it everywhere. I don't know how I feel about this tip. It's literally a triangle. I removed the excess now that I applied it on my face, and you can see that it's literally a triangle. It's very, very weird. So I always like to use also my concealer down here and around my nose for redness, and around my mouth because I do have more discoloration down there. So let's go ahead and start blending, and I'm using the same brush. She did come up with a concealer brush, but I just don't want to pick it up because it was already a lot, and you know, this will serve the exact same purpose. This concealer is extremely glowy, like super, super glowy. I don't know if you can tell, but it is very glowy. It did cover very good, so it is kind of like providing me the coverage that I need. So I do like it. I do like it a lot, actually. And it's definitely complementary to this foundation because it is not extremely light that it's not gonna match, but it is like lighter, so it kind of like brightens, but it's still giving me that coverage with a very glowy finish. So I really like it. It looks back, really, and I did finish up my eyes, so I did apply just a little bit of eyeshadow, lots of mascara, my brows, and of course I did a little bit of bronzer. I did not pick up 2 of her products. I couldn't remember, but also she has a brow product that I didn't pick, and then the eyeliner, the liquid liner. Again, just because I wanted to get the products that I was more drawn to, because of course I couldn't afford the full collection. So I left those 2 items out, so you know, just did my own thing. So now we're gonna go for some of the most exciting products that for me were in this collection, which were the blushes. So when I saw them like starting like coming up in videos and on the Trend Mood app, on that Trend Mood Instagram, I really, really was drawn into. First off, the packaging is absolutely stunning. They look like a liquid lipstick, sort of like, I feel like this would be like a package of a liquid lipstick, but of course it is a blush. So I want to try as many as I can, but of course I only have 2 cheeks. So I think I'm gonna go for the Bliss shade in the matte side and then happy on the glowy side, just because these two colors are more similar in tone than if I go with the more kind of like rusty reddish orangey, because that'll be like a very big difference how intense this is going to be. So I don't want to go direct on my cheek, so I'm gonna go on the back of my hand. Ooh, that's super pretty. So look at that color, absolutely stunning. So from here on my hand, I'm just going to apply the color with my beauty blender. This is a clean beauty blender, so I'm gonna kind of like try to do half and half. So let's go ahead and apply this directly on the cheek. Ooh, that is very pretty. And it is very intense and very pigmented, so I can only imagine how the matte one is gonna be on the other side of my cheek. I'm going to bring it in a little bit on the side of my face, you know how I always like to do that, and right here on the top of my nose. That is super intense. I was not expecting that to be that intense. It looks very pretty, but to be completely honest, it is a little too much for me. I'm glad I didn't just apply directly on my face. So I'm just going to use my my foundation brush, and I'm just gonna blend everything, only because it is a little bit more intense than I was expecting, and I want to just blend it out. So here is the cheek with the happy blush. This one is the glowy, and here is the cheek with nothing. So you can see how it's still very pigmented, even though I did go on with my foundation brush just to kind of like tone down the intensity, because it was very, very intense. So this is a huge bottle, so honestly you need the smallest amount. So keeping that in mind, this is going to last you a very, very long time. Let's go ahead and apply blush on the other cheek, and I'm going to be using the shade Bliss. Again, packaging is absolutely stunning, and I'll be doing the same thing. I'm just going to apply it on the back of my hand, and this one is the matte one, and I'm going to just blend it in a little bit. This came out a bit more kind of like separated. I don't know if you do have to mix them around or shake, but let me show you real quick. Okay, so it's back here on my hand. That's the shade. I'm gonna go ahead and do the exact same thing. So just with my beauty blender, just kind of like the other side, I'm going to bounce it in the color, and I'm gonna go ahead and smile. Okay, so this shade is way, way less pigmented than the other one. So actually for this one, what I'm going to do is I'm just gonna go ahead and direct with the product. I'm gonna go ahead and smile, and I'm going to just kind of like do a little bit of a small dot. Hopefully that's not too much. And I'm going to go ahead and start blending this in. Okay, so this shade is actually looking a little bit patchy now that I'm blending it. I don't know if you're gonna be able to tell, but let me kind of like get super close to the camera so see if you can see right here. It looks a little bit patchy, or like very patchy. Now that I'm really close to the camera, you can see like this one does not look patchy at all. I just went on very smooth, and I literally used the exact same thing. And then this one, especially like right here, I see a little bit of patchiness, so I don't know about that. This side is looking very, very patchy. I can literally, and it's coming up. Like I can see like the foundation and whatever was underneath definitely got like a little bit removed, so I'm not a very happy camper anymore. To finish up the face, we're going to go ahead and use the Positive Light Liquid Luminizer. So that's again same cardboard box, and then when you open it up, I did pick up the shade Flaunt, which I would have never picked this. Like if I had just browsed the website, I would have never picked this shade because it looks kind of like very dark and bronzy, but once you blend it in, it just looked so nice on the hand. So I have here some of the product on the back of my beauty blender, and let's go ahead and apply it first on the glowy side. So this is very, very subtle. So if you're someone who's kind of like just starting into highlight, or you don't love like a super punchy highlight, I think this would be perfect for you. So I just applied it, and again, it's super subtle. You can barely see it, especially because this side of my face was already very glowy because of that blush. So let's go ahead and apply a little bit more. And let's do the matte side. Okay, I can really see the more kind of like intense glow on this side, but again, just because I didn't have anything glowy going on here. Ooh, that's very pretty. And I'm going to just apply a little bit on the tip of my nose and down here on my chin and on the very top of my nose, which is where I would always like to highlight. You can definitely see the difference on this cheek now that it was a more matte side of my face. Now it has that beautiful glow, again very subtle, but you can definitely see the difference. This one was already pretty glowy, and to be completely honest, this is my favorite side. Again, taking away the fact that this got disrupted with the patchiness, I just like how much kind of like glowy and cohesive this side is. It just looks very fresh, natural, and kind of like youthful. This one is also pretty, of course, but I do prefer this kind of like over, like fully glow to my skin compared to this one that's just the highlight. Now to finish up this almost full face of Rare Beauty, I did pick up 2 of the Lip Souffle Matte Lip Cream. When I saw this in store, and just by the name, I feel that it's going to be a similar formula to the NYX Matte Soft Creams, which are probably my favorite liquid lipsticks of all time. I got the shade Motivate and I got the shade Inspire. I don't know which one I'm gonna go for today because they were just beautiful. When I saw them in store, I mean, honestly, all of them looked super pretty, but I didn't want to get a lot of them, so I just picked up 2, a pink and the red. Red is my absolute favorite color to ever wear, so I know that I'm gonna get a ton of use out of the red one, and the pink just looks super pretty. And it's just like a regular doe foot applicator, nothing too different. And let's see how I like this. There's nothing on my lips, I just had a little bit of lip balm before I started filming. I just applied some, so we'll see. Okay, you guys, yes, this is very much reminiscent of those NYX products. As soon as I saw it announced and I saw the name, I don't know why, I immediately thought of the NYX Soft Matte Lip Creams. This is very, very similar, I don't know if formula, but it just reminds me so much. Like now applying them on my lips, it feels very much like the NYX Matte Lip Cream. Here is the shade Motivate, and what a stunner. I really, really love it. It's just very, very pretty. It's kind of like the perfect pink for me. I really like it, and I feel like it'll look perfect in literally any skin tone, like anyone darker or anyone lighter than me. It's such a universal, beautiful pink. I really, really like it, and it pairs so perfect with both of the blushes that I got, so that makes me really happy. And it was super easy to apply. You saw in the clip, it was just super easy. It just went on very all done. The only thing that I added after the lipstick was some finishing spray. I did use the Rose Scented by MAC, the Fix Plus. She does have her own product in her line for like a more kind of like hydrating spray. I did not pick that one up. But yeah, just overall thoughts. I'm gonna get a little bit closer to the camera so you can see how glowy my face is. So I love that, of course, you can tell that I'm wearing highlight, but it looks like a very natural overall glow, like just kind of like glowing from within, if that makes any sense. The highlight, it's clearly there, but it's again very subtle. I really liked it. I'm gonna go over kind of like each product individually and tell you what are my thoughts. I absolutely love the primer. So the first product, like we'll just go by category. This one was a win for me. I really like it. I feel like I would definitely use, like I mentioned earlier, I could see myself using this product just by itself when I'm just in a rush and I want to do just like a no makeup day. I would literally just slap this everywhere, and then I'll feel like my face just looks a little bit better, like with that beautiful glow. So this, I absolutely love it. I would not recommend it if you have oily skin, because I feel like this would just be like a full oily mess. But if you have more normal to dry skin, definitely try the foundation. which I'm still a little in between with this. Again, this is just a first impression. As my first impression, I like the finish a lot, and I like how easily it was to blend into my face and how seamless it went on. Literally, it took me no time to blend, and that I feel like is going to be very much also because of the brush. The brush, another absolute winner for me. This was so easy to use. It just blended everything so seamless and so fast. I really love it, and it is still perfect for your concealer, and I do always like to use a brush to apply or blend in my concealer, so absolutely love this. The foundation, I'm just a little iffy because I don't feel too comfortable with the shade match, which again, it's kind of funny because this is supposed to be a neutral, and I felt like it was still a little too yellow and warm for my complexion. That I really loved was the concealer. So this one is in the same shade, the 270N. It was a very good color match for my skin. I feel like this definitely helped neutralize that a little bit of extra yellow from the foundation. It was very brightening, not like as brightening as like, let's say, the Fenty one, but definitely a brightening concealer. So if you like your concealers for brightening, this is definitely something you would like. It is very glowy, I'm not gonna lie. There's no way, even me, I would be okay with just not setting this full face with powder, which I definitely did. Move on to the blushes, which I was probably the most excited to try from everything that I purchased. And it was the biggest letdown, especially the matte one. I mean, the glowy one, which was the Happy, this side of my face, I absolutely love it. It's such a beautiful, glowing, natural blush that you literally look like you're kind of like blushing and glowing from within, which is just my favorite kind of product. I really love it, and I definitely see myself purchasing like different shades in this glowy kind. For the matte one, I don't have, unfortunately, the same feeling. I did get two of them. I haven't tried the Love one, which is kind of like the more reddish, darker shade. This is the one that I did try, and this is going to be on the left side of my eye, on my face, the right side for you. There is some patchiness when I applied it. I did apply it with my beauty blender. It was this shade, at least. This is Bliss. It was a little too light for my complexion, so I thought, you know what, I'm just gonna apply it directly on my cheek with the applicator, and that's whenever I had some issues. It did kind of like remove a little bit of the underneath product. Another winner for me was this highlight. I got the shade Flaunt. It might look very dark on the bottle, but it just blends out so seamless, and it kind of like, I don't want to say it doesn't have as much pigment, but it looks like super pigmented and dark on the bottle. But once you blended it, I still kind of like have it right here. Once you blend it into your skin, it literally looks very natural, subtle, and the kind of highlight that I love is going to be a subtle highlight that it seems like you're just glowing from within. I love the glow, and I really like how cohesive everything looks, excepting this little patch that we have going on here with the blush. But other than that, again, this side was absolute perfection. I love how all the products, especially the foundation and concealer, worked together. Again, if you have oily skin, I don't think I would recommend this for you because I feel like it would be like a huge oily mess. But anyway, I am going to keep you posted. I'm going to use the other lipstick and different applications with the foundation, and I'll let you know how I feel, how I like it. But so far, these are my thoughts. I hope you enjoyed this video. Again, this was a realistic, 100% honest review or first impression on these products. I purchased everything with my own money, and I did spend quite a big penny. So I didn't get anything sent, of course. I know Selena really wanted to, to put me in the PR list, but it is what it is. I did not make the cut there. Aesthetically pleasing, 100%. I am a sucker for beautiful packaging, and this definitely succeeded my expectations. Some of the products, some of them weren't as much, but again, I will keep you posted. I need to try this a little bit more and now have a better opinion. But anyway, I hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, please give it a big thumbs up, and please subscribe before you leave, and I'll see you on the next one. Bye!